The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, asking a compelling question. How soon might they arrive? We're about to go deep in who they are, and some compelling things that might show that they'll be arriving, or already have. Breaking the seals. The Four Horsemen's arrival. The book of Revelation, a prophetic text in the Christian New Testament, vividly describes the Four Horsemen's emergence in chapters 6:1 through 8. From the parchments of this ancient document, inked around 95 AD on the island of Patmos by the Apostle John, we've seen a tale unfold that has baffled theologians for centuries. In light of recent events, many have begun to argue these prophetic visions are no longer future events but current realities. Could we be witnessing the breaking of the seven seals in our era? White Horse, a deceptive global leader. The rider of the White Horse is linked to the figure of the Antichrist, wielding a bow and wearing a crown, the symbol of conquering power. Recent political turmoil, the rise of totalitarian regimes, and spreading misinformation echo the deception this figure represents. Historically, many figures have been speculated to be this prophetic character, from Napoleon Bonaparte to Adolf Hitler. Given the current political climate, with global tensions at an all-time high, could we see the rise of this figure sooner than expected? Red Horse, the specter of global warfare. The rider of the Red Horse, wielding a large sword, is a clear metaphor for war and violence. In the last century alone, we've seen two devastating world wars, the long-reaching Cold War and numerous regional conflicts that have displaced millions and resulted in staggering loss of life. The current geopolitical flashpoints, whether it's the tense South China Sea, the volatile Middle East, or the fractious eastern borders of Europe, seem like a potential trigger for the rider of the Red Horse. Could the wars of our time pave the way for an unprecedented global conflict? Black Horse, global famine and economic turmoil. The Black Horse and its rider carry scales, symbolizing famine, particularly through the economic hardship that makes food unaffordable. Currently, the world is experiencing growing income inequality, food insecurity, and economic disruptions. Economic models predict a potential global recession, and UN reports warn of a looming food crisis. Could these be the early warning signs of a more disastrous global famine? Pale Horse, death on a global scale. The rider of the Pale Horse, named Death, followed by Hades, signifies mortality on a grand scale. The current COVID-19 pandemic, with a death toll surpassing 5 million globally as of November 2022, could be an eerie preview of the Pale Horseman's ride. What would it look like if Death and Hades were given power over 1/4 of the Earth? With recent biological warfare threats and the potential for other pandemics, could we see a future global event causing massive mortality? Interpreting the signs, a matter of perspective. The way we interpret these signs is subjective. Some might see these unfolding events as unrelated, mere coincidences or patterns of history. Others might view these as clear signs of prophecy coming to fruition. How we interpret these signs can shape our understanding of where humanity stands in this prophetic timeline. The predictive peril. Failed forecasts and warnings. The failed predictions about the end of the world, from the Y2K scare to Harold Camping's 2011 prediction, serve as a reminder of Matthew 24:36. But about that day or hour, no one knows. It underlines the complexity and unpredictability of these prophetic events and cautions us against setting specific dates. The Horsemen in a modern context. Unforeseen interpretations. Given the advancements of technology, how can we envision these biblical prophecies? How do we understand the Red Horseman in an age defined by digital warfare and genetically modified crops? How do we envision the Pale Horseman in an age of advanced medical technology and artificial intelligence? Unanswered questions. The uncertainty remains. Despite this, we're left with more questions than answers. Are the Four Horsemen still confined to the realm of future prophecy? Are they lurking in the shadows of our present reality, awaiting their hour to emerge? We can ponder these questions as we look around at the world and see signs of increasing instability and strife.